Look at this shit! Okay, we're live, motherfuckers. How's it going, guys? Just all breathing out there.
Surfside Beach, Montauk, New York.
I like Montauk,
July
ladies and
13,
gentlemen.
2008, a 26-year-old woman and 3 of her friends discovered
what it's
the
like out there,
carcass
but
of a
this one is.
strange-looking creature
Yeah, man.
that had washed onto the shore.
Back. Come on, back. Look at this shit.
It actually looked
Yeah,
like
I came back from
creature
Virginia.
that had
It's crazy. One hell of adventure.
and possibly
But
the
I'm
beak
not
of a
gonna
bird
say anything
in the body
that shouldn't be
perhaps
saying,
of a
but
dog. A very
I'll say it's good at
unusual
least.
creature.
But the most part of it,
A photograph
I
was
don't
taken and circulated. It started popping up
But,
all over the
yeah.
internet.
it is what it is. But yeah.
The people couldn't identify
Yeah, I know, right?
the animal
Welcome
because
back
it
from hell.
didn't look like
From the shitty-
anything.
Shittiest
like a
town
mixture
ever.
of different animals.
Bunch of crackhead snobs and that shit.
And because it looks so strange, it's provoked a lot
I was
of
gonna
theories.
say,
Is it just an unknown animal?
yeah, thank you, buddy. Nice
Could
seeing
be
you,
some sort of
Mr.
hybrid
Yeti.
type
Thank you, buddy.
creature. Something, that had been genetically tinted within a lab.
But I'm glad I'm back though. But I don't know. It is what it is.
Some believe the mysterious
Tiny.
creature
It's all
is a
jump on
hybrid
it.
beast.
Don't be scared, guys.
At a
Oh, yeah.
nearby
Ben,
government
just so
testing
you know,
facility,
Tyler loves you.
the Plum
Okay,
Island
brother.
Animal Disease Center.
You want me to tell you that? Oh, yeah.
Cryptozoologist Lauren Coleman labels the creature the Montauk
He
Monster.
said he loves you, so that's good.
This is a replica of the Montauk Monster.
And he wants your
One of the
number.
things that we noticed
So,
about this
we're gonna give
creature
him your
was
number.
the strange features around its
He wants
mouth.
to call you every
It
night.
looked like a beak. It actually looked like we didn't know what was going on here.
But
Was
yeah,
it
but I'm probably not
was
gonna
it a
talk to that
creature? Was it a
firework
giant
girl.
turtle?
I know.
Indeed,
She's not that into me,
that
it seems
was
like.
decaying flesh that had
Not as
come
much as
away
the Asian
from
one
the
is.
skull.
So then,
Other
her
features
name
were
is.
the strange-looking feet.
So I'm probably not gonna talk to
and the
the other
body,
girl.
indeed,
I'm just gonna
because
talk
the
to the
picture had no scale in it. We
one
thought
from the
it
Philippines.
looked enormous.
She's into me,
On
at
the
least.
body, these white
Like the other one
objects
really
here
isn't.
really define the size of flies on
You
the
know.
creature.
Because I asked her if she wants to do something,
Determine
she
the
like
scale of the
shuts me down
creature is
about
very
it.
small.
I mean, she doesn't let me read anything, but she's like saying, nah, I'm good.
And suppose they took it to his front yard and then it all
Yeah, not
vanished.
that, but
So the only evidence we have.
I was gonna say like I asked her if she wanted to date me, and she said no. So fuck her.
But while some
But at least
researchers theorized that the so-called Montauk
the Asian girl
Monster was the
I
product
talked to,
of
at least
modern
she
science.
wants to date me at least.
Ancient astronaut theorists believe the animal could be part of a long line of
I'm not sure if
genetically
she's on here
modified
now, but
creatures that have appeared
yeah.
throughout human history.
Yeah, we were just talking
If
about
the Montauk
about you,
Monster is in fact a reality,
well, she's my mermaid.
then
She's my
that
mermaid. Guys.
could mean that if we're able today
Yeah,
to
watching the alien
create some
porn.
very bizarre
You guys are
creatures
wondering?
behind closed doors in labs
So,
all around
if you
the
guys got
world,
anything to say about alien porn,
it is
leave it down below.
possible that our ancestors, especially the extraterrestrial ancestors, had the same capability, because in ancient texts we have numerous references to monsters, bizarre beings that have been described in great detail.
Yeah, that's just fucking racist. to Look at it that way, but
Ancient
okay.
Greek artifacts depict
Look at this
terrifying
shit!
beasts, such as the Gorgon,
Man, I'm fucking bit that's a
the
motherfucker
Hydra,
from fucking yeah.
and the ferocious Cerberus.
So yeah, I'm probably not gonna go into next year because they want to go back in sometime in
And
July
Homer's
and
epic poem,
Halloween time, but I chose not to
The Greek
because
author
number one, they
describes
don't
a
want to
battle
have anything to
in
do
which
with you,
the
Ben.
hero, Bellerophon,
Second, I
slays
mean,
a monster
it was alright, but
called
it's
the
just
Chimera.
like the more people, the better it is.
The Chimera was a dreaded beast that
I'm not gonna
raked
say
havoc
anything
and
specific, but
terrorized the people of Asia Minor. Homer described the Chimera as an immortal beast with a lion-like head, a snake tail, and a third goat head in the middle that snorted bright fire.
The notion of chimeras and hybrids is one that has been part of the human psyche for millennium. I mean, when you think about things such as the Minotaur, Pegasus,
let me see it.
Anubis, this is something
Yeah,
that
really.
either we have
Especially Cody,
imagined
yeah.
or have been created at one time.
These
beings, these monsters, serve more of a kind of an ethical purpose in mythology than they are catalogs of something literal. Because storytelling and fiction are just a part of what we are.
All right, guys, we're back. I'm gonna get something from my mosquito bites. You're making like a motherfucker.
But did mythic monsters merely spring from the imagination of our ancestors? Or might they have actually existed? Ancient alien theorists believe in their existence, and that evidence can be found in the relics of the past.
To suggest that all of these creatures were nothing else but fantasy, in my opinion, doesn't really hold water, because our ancestors weren't stupid. They depicted what they saw. We find these mixed hybrid beings all throughout Egypt, as sphinxes, as griffins, as bizarre creatures that, according to the ancient Egyptian texts, they did exist. They were not a fantasy of our ancestors' imagination.
Just imagine there is a modern spaceship traveling in the universe for centuries and centuries. Then they find a solar system with a planet with the possibility of life, like the Earth. And they observe on the Nile a crocodile, a living creature which obviously is resistant to the heat. They observe a lion with his power, his muscles. And now they start to think, we could use a mixture of this creature on another planet. And now, by genetical design, they start to create mixed creatures. Or some of these mixed creatures did exist in the past.
The griffin was a mythological creature that had the body of a lion with the head and wings of an eagle. Well, now the lion is the king of beasts, the eagle is the king of birds, so the griffin was the king of all creatures.
The creature is somehow two creatures put together in a way that defies normal sense, defies normal explanation. So the question then is, how does that happen?
By the mid-19th century, scientists began to look at fossil records around the planet to study how organisms changed over time. Naturalist Charles Darwin theorized that all life forms share a common origin and have evolved over the centuries through a process called natural selection. Might the hybrid monsters of ancient religion and myth really have been the result of evolution?
Darwin's theory of evolution
guys, I'm back.
selection is a mechanism by
Need
which
some leaves for my
life form
itching
can
this
change
from the
from one
fucking
into
mosquitoes.
It relies
Just to
on
see
the
how bad it got me.
principle that
It was fucking ridiculous.
organisms that have certain traits, which are mutations, may be advantageous in the struggle for existence and the struggle for reproduction. And those traits are the ones that will be perpetuated over time,
Mentioning like a
over many,
motherfucker.
many generations.
Certain different species can breed if they are genetically close, like the donkey and the horse, like the wolf and the dog.
I got some more.
However,
AJ, aliens.
cats and dogs
No, alien
will
porn.
not
I got you can
be,
say it's alien porn.
because, first of all,
I like to call it that.
they don't have the biochemical signatures to mate with each other, and plus their genes are so different.
Yeah, I mean,
that
I like Asian women more
chromosomes
than
just won't line up properly
normal
to
women.
reproduce.
I mean, don't get me
It's
wrong.
impossible.
I like normal women, but I like Asian women as well.
But if Darwin's theories on evolution and
Love
natural
Asian women.
selection cannot explain the origins of ancient beasts and
I wouldn't mind
monsters,
marrying an Asian woman, to be honest.
then where might they have come from? Perhaps the
And not just that, but she's the same
cannot
age as
be
me. She's
found
like
on Earth,
22. You
but
know?
in a place
And I'm 21.
much farther away. Southern
It's not like she's
Pakistan.
Arabian or anything like that.
In the middle of the Indus River Valley lie the ruins of Mohenjo-Daro.
But yeah, I mean, I like
This
Asian women.
ancient city, whose name means Mound of the Dead,
I always wanted to date
was
one.
one of the largest
Oh, yeah.
urban settlements in the world in 2600
I always wanted to make
BC.
love to one, you know what I'm saying?
The ancient city of Mohenjo-Daro had what appeared to be streets that were laid out parallel and perpendicular to each other, like a modern city. The homes actually had their own toilets, and they had a very sophisticated sewer system. So it looks like a very advanced city.
Ancient astronaut theorists have long thought this site was also the epicenter of a nuclear explosion that occurred more than 4,000 years ago.
Skeletons were found in dead positions as though there's an instantaneous death. And
Okay,
some
who's
of
going
those
out there? I mean, I'm
skeletons,
gonna be
as
going
measured
to,
by
like, at least
Soviet scientists,
1 in the
had
morning or 2 in the
50
morning.
times the normal
Yeah.
radioactivity. They found pottery that had been fused. Then
Damn, fucking
walls
energy.
were heated to such an extent they became vitrified.
And that's another thing. I keep
Glass
getting these fucking scammers on fucking.
suggesting
Yeah,
some sort
that's
of
the thing about
ancient nuclear
my
weapon
friend
involved.
that I was camping with. He thinks I'm not gonna say his name because I don't want to be a dick. But he thinks that my girlfriend is a fucking scam, which she fucking isn't. And his sister said that she's ugly, and that's fucking racist.
And reduce the city to
Yeah, sure, I might say a couple racist things, but I mean,
by the thousands. And
like,
corpses
I mean,
were
seriously,
vaporized by intense heat.
And
like
afterwards,
she said worse than
a
what
big
I have to say.
silence
You know,
came over the entire land, and people started to have boils on their skin. Their hair started
and
to
that's
fall
that, but
out,
she's also
and
against
their
black
nails.
people as
There's
well. I
only
mean, that's
one
messed up.
thing that causes this.
Like black women, you know. I mean, I'm not against that shit. That's messed up.
It's
Whoever's
radiation
against that shit.
fallout.
So the question
Yeah, sure. I mean, there's a
when
few
events happen
people out there that fucking
in a
hate
place
white or
where
black,
there is
but
extreme
that
radiation,
doesn't make me a racist.
what
Seriously.
impact does that have on human life or on other life present there? Could this explain, for example, why creatures were born with more than one arm or more than one leg?
The only thing I don't really like is
because
Germans.
even to this day,
You know, just
we know
because
that in
they have a bad
civilizations
reputation
where
of history.
anomalous human beings are born,
That in
somehow the touch of God
Ah.
is seen to be part of
that
this
in Russian,
creation.
you know. But yeah, I mean,
According
like
to
she's
the
like
ancient
calling her
Hindu
ugly and that
texts,
shit, and
after the
saying, "Oh,
collapse
she's gonna
of
smell bad and that
Mohenjo-Daro,
shit." Like, bitch,
a
get the fuck out of here! If you're gonna be
fiercely
talking
flying
rude about my
monster
fucking
appeared
girlfriend
in
that
the
way.
sky. It was called Garuda.
Besides, bitch, you fucking think you're a fucking crackhead, so you should mind your own damn goddamn business. Who the fuck I should date?
Face, red wings, talon is so huge. it would
And you
block
shouldn't
out
even
the
give a
sun.
shit who the fuck I date.
There are stories that it would let a certain god Vishnu ride on him on occasion.
Each and every time he would show up descending from the sky, he would create hurricane winds. And upon his descent, the earth would shake, dust would flap in the air, and everyone in the
But yeah, I
vicinity
don't mind dating a black woman,
absolutely
really. I mean, I just don't like the fact that they hang out with game bangers and that
Now,
shit.
Here we
I just don't
have
want to get beat up or shot at just because I'm the only white boy in town, you know.
Yes, they look like feathers, but at the same
And to be
time,
honest, like
they
I
could
like
be
black women
interpreted
more
as
than black
big,
guys
gigantic
because well, at least black women are nicer.
According
They're more
to
respectful
Hindu mythology,
towards whites
Garuda is
than
born
the
out
men
of
themselves.
this cosmic
Not to sound rude, but it is what it is.
war and
I don't know where else to put it
destruction that
at.
happens at the end of every
So
age.
yeah,
Could this have been somehow connected to exposures or to radiation, being born within a zone of high radiation? We cannot know the answer, but we do know that within India and within Pakistan, there are known zones of higher radiation than there are normal. The logic dictates.
and
that
another thing like, I don't like is
genetic
Tanzania. Like
abominations
they slaughter a bunch
will
of people,
have been
and my
born
friends are buying them.
within
You know what
those
I'm saying?
places.
Like seriously?
If Mohenjo-Daro was in fact the site of an ancient nuclear attack, could it be possible that Garuda was a mutant beast created as a byproduct of intense radioactivity?
We tend to have a science fiction view of what mutation is. We think of mutations being caused by the time.
There's no recorded evidence of any radiation causing a mutation which changes some species into a different species.
Yeah, guys, there's a super hot girl
Most of
there
the radiation
at the amusement
mutations
park
were
ride, but
lethal.
I asked her if she had a Facebook, but she said no. I'm sure she's bullshitting or what.
As modern
She told me her name
believe,
was. I might look her up later on, but I don't
was
know.
not likely the
We'll see,
result
though.
of genetic mutation. Then what could
I'm just gonna stick with the
explain its
girl I like, and
existence?
that's Lynn. You
The
know.
Mahabharata states that Garuda was born from his raging inferno. And what's really intriguing is the fact that in some text passages, we can
Especially
read
she's in the same
that
shit as I'm into, so
the
that's, I
exterior
mean, that's awesome.
of
You know?
Garuda did not consist of feathers, but of metal. Now, what kind of a bird is that? No
And
bird
not just that,
is made
but
of metal unless
sometimes I don't even
it's a
talk to her.
type
She
of
sometimes she talks to me
machine.
first, and she checks up on me sometimes. You know, like, that's why I call her a good
flying
friend.
vehicle. And Garuda was able to travel to the moon and around
fucking
the Earth
is a
at
motherfucker.
very high speed. Garuda even was able to
I even use his legs out there for
lightning,
medicine
which fell from heaven.
for like rubbing and that shit.
Garuda was considered to be a snake killer. In fact, Garuda needed to eat snakes in order to survive. Now compare an airplane at the airport today hooked up to a fuel line. Isn't that airplane eating a snake?
That's coincidental, I think. But it is weird, though. I mean, once you look at a jet, you think of like a dragon.
If you see modern fighter jets take off in the middle of the
You think
night,
of this dragon,
there's
you see the
smoke and fire coming out of the exhaust. It looks like a dragon. It looks like some type of a mythical creature.
That's a funny people, guys.
If you don't know, what you're witnessing is nuts and bolts technology. So of course you're going to liken it to a living creature. Those ancient aliens knew that our ancestors would worship them as gods because they knew that our ancestors, they didn't know it was technology. They thought it was magic, spirituality, divine intervention, which it never was.
Yeah, I'm trying to watch all of the
To the east
Ancient
of
Alien
India,
episodes and get every
in the
Giorgio
village of Wushang, in the Sichuan province of
saying.
China.
I'm trying to figure out what his
Similar
saying
tales
is.
of flying beasts have also been found in ancient texts. In the 4th century, historian Ku reported the discovery of what were then called dragon bones.
I don't think he doesn't have a
occurs
saying.
as to whether dragons might actually have been actual dinosaurs that had wings. Wings would have been lost to the fossil record. We're just recently talking about dinosaurs having feathers and having evolved into birds. Well, it's possible that some dinosaurs actually did have wings and could be described as dragons.
But while most mainstream scientists believe the remains found were most likely dinosaur fossils, like those of the flying pterosaur, ancient astronaut theorists have another, more provocative explanation.
Now, a creature which somehow is able to spit fire obviously is not any place in the animal kingdom of today. So what we have here is either an invention which did indeed spit fire, in which case we're not confronting a creature here, but somehow a creation, something which was either engineered by mankind or which was engineered by extraterrestrials.
Machines that fly through the
I was
air
thinking about my
and
boss.
spit
Like,
fire, causing mass
I don't want to say it
destruction,
on here, but
thousands of casualties,
maybe I will say, but
and radioactive
he sounds
fallout.
racist. Like, seriously.
Could the Garuda and other so-called flying dragons really have been ancient versions of today's high-tech bomber planes? Or perhaps something else. Something even more out of this world. In March 2010, a panel of 41 international experts concluded that the impact of an asteroid that smashed into Earth at Mexico's Yucatan that resulted in the mass extinction of the Earth's dinosaurs. But is there also evidence
Man, I'm hungry like a
that
motherfucker,
some
guys. I'm gonna get
dinosaur
something to eat real quick.
species survived? And if so, might they also have evolved?
Paleontologists tell us that, these things have been extinct for 65 million years, yet they still crop up. And they appear to be prehistoric animals, dinosaurs literally, that have survived right down to today. Much like the coelacanth and alligators and sharks and turtles also have survived from those same prehistoric times. I believe that ancient prehistoric monsters are still living in remote areas of the world, either in oceans and lakes or jungle areas.
All right. Everybody.
In the Highlands of Scotland, the legend of the Loch Ness Monster has long been part of Celtic and Norse folklore. Recorded accounts of sightings can be traced to the year 565 to the Irish monk St. Columba.
Tim's my best friend. He's my brother, guys.
He founded monasteries in both Ireland and Scotland. It these journals
You guys want a bite?
of an encounter with people burying a man near the shores of the now fabled Loch Ness.
They explained to Father Columba that the man who had died had been swimming in the lake and was attacked by the water beast. Upon hearing this, Father Columba sent his own follower into the lake. When the beast came after this man, Father Columba made the sign of a cross and commanded the beast not to harm the man. The beast fled and was never seen harming another man again.
A lot of people don't realise how big Loch Ness is. It's 23 miles long, a mile wide, and at its deepest point, about 800 feet. And the water is very, very dark and dense. And so it is the prime location where conceivably they didn't need to surface that often. They would sort of bypass detection.
So what do you guys think of the Loch Monster photo? You think it's a submarine? I don't think so, because where is the fucking submarine, bitch?
Really is, where does it come from?
Like, every time I look at that photo, the black and white image of it, it terrifies me to this day. I get the chills from it.
We know that, for example,
Like, where is that submarine that they use that's supposedly the Loch Monster? Seriously. Like, all I see is a fucking drawing of the fucking submarine. It does not fucking mean that it's fucking there. You know?
The intriguing thing is that there actually have been a significant number of UFOs.
Seriously, if they found that fucking submarine that has a Loch Monster on it, fucking show it and put it in the fucking goddamn museum. But no, you don't fucking see it anywhere.
Helicopters or aircraft or meteorites or anything like that at all. So, in other words, Loch Ness is a weird and spooky place.
Yeah, no shit, man.
Could the so-called sea monsters of Loch Ness possibly be descendants of
Look at the Patrick
ancient
Gimlin
dinosaurs?
photo. Oh, video footage. Like, they say, oh, it's man in costume. Yeah, like, I'm sure he made that fucking quality that fucking damn good to pull off.
What might this say
And if you look at
about other mythical sea beasts?
If you zoom in on the face, I mean, it looks so fucking
Sumerian sea monster,
animal-like. You know, it's terrifying, you know?
Sometimes described as a serpent or a crocodile or a dragon, but it lurks. It is the gatekeeper.
Looks ape-like, doesn't look like
hell.
a normal man's face.
Apparently deep in the ocean.
I get terrified just looking at that photos of the black and white images of the one of his famous Bigfoot photo or famous Loch Monster photo.
Described as an ancient sea serpent with many heads. It was said to be a descendant of the earth goddess Gaia.
Hercules is sent to kill the Hydra. But it was terribly difficult. He would slice.
Man, I just wish monsters were still alive to this day. They're so awesome. I mean, they still are, but not as much as they used to be. Like in Grace times. I'm sure they probably are. We just don't know it. It's fun to think that because we haven't discovered like every fucking cave in the planet yet, and we probably never fucking will because everyone's a bunch of pussies don't want to go deeper and deeper. And I have to be that kind of guy that's scared shitless. But quit being a fucking skeptic, have some balls, and go to fucking deeper in the fucking underground systems. See for yourself. See, there's an unknown creature that lurks into the shadows, into the darkness.
But clearly it was of such importance that it was adhered to in mythology, where it attained a status over the years, over the centuries, up until this moment in time.
Kraken. According to Scandinavian legend, the Kraken are legendary sea monsters of gargantuan size and are said to have roamed the seas off the coasts of Norway and Iceland. This fearsome beast was infamous for its attacks on
fucking scary, guys.
The danger was not only being attacked.
I mean, it's not the terrifying monster.
They would come up.
It may not be the best terrifying monster we ever gotten.
Small islands, so you could
but
have a collision.
It's still a nightmare of a giant squid like that.
Out to attack you. Another great danger was that if it
take down ships and that shit,
it formed such a great whirlpool that it could pull a ship.
Drown people to death. You need them.
Could such legendary sea monsters have actually existed? Might they have escaped extinction in the safety of cold,
I don't know, man.
deep waters?
Cody doesn't seem like it because he's going to his mom's, like, he's celebrating his mom's birthday and that shit.
The origin of
I know, Tim, calm down,
of the Hebrew Bible.
And I want to see the fucking Purge. Like, I got to see that Purge on premiere day, man. So probably not, sadly.
Creature is found in the Bible.
Unless you do it on some other day.
The story of Jonah.
But I'm destined to see that Purge movie because I got to do it because I'm the director of the Purge forever. You know, like I got to see the premiere day.
Jonah is swallowed by
whoever likes it or not, but I'm going to see the premiere day, and I'm going whoever's coming with me or not.
Giant fish, and then
So probably not.
spewed out.
I want to go, but you want to have it on the 4th, and
had been swallowed.
I'm sorry, I can't. I'm booked that day because I want to go on the Purge day.
Been crushed as it was
when it's
swallowed, and
premiering in the theater.
Would have destroyed his skin and internal organs. So I propose there's no way he could have survived being swallowed by whatever this entity was. Was it a fish or a whale?
So the question I have, is this truly a description of Jonah being swallowed up by a biological animal? Because in some references, we can read that the ribs of that whale
unless you do it like on the 5th, maybe
gleaming bronze. Now that to me is a description of some type
or the 3rd. Or the 3rd
that was made of metal.
And that's on a Saturday, I think.
Jonah was in fact not swallowed by a whale,
so I can do that,
but by a USO, an unidentified submersible object.
Jonah disappeared into an object which was clearly of a man-made or extraterrestrial origin, and which was of such a specific interest that he not only related the story.
I'm sorry, man.
Thousands of years after it occurred.
But I want to go see the Purge.
About it today.
I think we need to look at stories like this at a deeper level.
I mean, I gotta see. I'm the creator of the Purge for everything.
People recording these things actually had real experiences, but they were just trying to incorporate it into the way they understood the world at that time.
I'm also gonna like blog it and stuff like that. Video it.
Alien beings really have lurked beneath
I don't know,
the seas in submersible machines.
Depends what time you guys are going, really.
So,
That's all that matters.
Why were they there?
Because I'm probably gonna see in the morning the Purge.
With humans.
And
or did they
if you guys want to leave
come
around
for
6 or 7, I'm like,
perhaps
no.
more
I don't know.
sinister reason?
The promise is done, but we'll see.
Volgograd State Medical University, Russia, 1954. Soviet scientist and organ transplant pioneer Vladimir Demikhov surgically produces a fully functioning two-headed dog.
What he did was he took the upper torso of a dog and grafted it onto the neck of another dog. And surprisingly, this creature lived for a few weeks.
2 weeks.
Demikhov brought it to medical shows as evidence that he could do this, that these sort of hybrids, that these sort of things
That's so
could be
creepy,
done.
but it's cool though.
Although highly controversial, the transplant pioneer's audacious experiments paved the way for the first human heart transplant in 1967. But while the image of Demikhov's dog is disturbing, ancient astronaut theorists believe our early ancestors also left behind evidence of equally bizarre creatures.
But don't be mad. Don't get mad.
The ancient alien theory is the fact that we can compare modern achievements with stories from our ancient
Ben,
past.
your boyfriend's on here. You give a shit.
So if today we're able to create
technically my boyfriend in a way, but not really.
Legs,
but if I had to date someone,
that a
it'd definitely be Giorgio, obviously.
Thousands of years
I'm not that
ago.
though. But
and I say
I'm just
yes.
saying. The reason I say that's a boyfriend because it was like Cody's brother, Tyler, Giorgio, guys.
And the Iliad.
I'm still horrified over two-headed dog thing.
Cerberus guards the gates.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, who the fuck would do that? I mean, you think you'd be in jail for that kind of shit? That's kind of like animal cruelty. Like buying a half of a dog to another dog like that. Like, that's fucking weird, bro. Like, who the fuck does that? I mean, yeah, sure you can pull it off, but it's just like cruel. Because you know that thing's not gonna be alive that much longer. Number one, and number two, I mean, it's just creepy. You know, like who the fuck would do that?
As ancient alien theorists believe.
Like, what human does that shit? You know, I mean, it's cool, but
humans and gods would
it's fucking weird and creepy.
Among one another. All of this interbreeding, this fertility, like
produces. Everyone's saying,
these monsters.
The reason why we have hybrid monsters is because they've been experimented on. That doesn't fucking mean that. Dipshit. I'm just saying, not random, but I'm just saying, like everyone thinks that. Oh, the reason we have hybrid animals is because they're being experimented on. No, it doesn't fucking mean that. It means they're given by God or some other entity that lives out there in the far universe, other than humans.
And so we are dealing
I mean,
with
like, what are we gonna say back in the old days, like back in Greece times, like Medusa and that shit? I mean, like, how the fuck did she get snakes for her hair? I mean, come on now.
The Egyptian Emmet.
Well, you saying the doctors were around and like did some kind of fucked up ritual on her? I mean, that shit's like out of this world, bro.
Alien transplant procedures.
Like, that's already in the books, you know?
Any civilization which has contacted us in the past or which is contacting us today roughly needs to be at our level of...
It's like a man fucking a goat, and he has a bestiality relationship with it, and he fucks it, and he gets impregnated, and what do you expect? The child's gonna be half goat, half man? Like, what the fuck? I mean, who the fuck would do that?
Who comes to Earth from a distant place will have this medical knowledge.
There was some kind of experimentation.
I'm just saying though, guys, but it's so fucking weird to think of. Like,
we'll play with these creatures. Let's take this animal and give him two heads. Let's take this dragon and give him wings. Let's let him breathe fire. Let's have some fun. Maybe that's what they did.
That's so cool when he says that.
Depictions of
monsters. He thinks that the aliens were toying with our creatures back in the day. Like the lizards, like were a dragon at one point, they could fly. And he thinks the aliens gave them wings and had them breathe out fire. Like, that's so fucking cool.
Are all hybrid creatures described as being created by gods?
See? So as I'm talking, that's what I already saw it.
Researchers point to the
I mean, they basically say that in the Bible verse and that shit.
Further evidence of alien contact.
In Greek mythology,
But I don't
the
believe
centaur was
gods are gods. I believe they're aliens secretly, because I believe aliens can have this kind of powers, can make that shit happen.
This would leave them in
Especially the spiritual and that shit. Aliens. I mean, there's some out there that are like instance for the gray aliens.
Human consciousness.
Like,
And interestingly enough,
they're normal, but they don't have that. Oh, I think it all depends what kind of great. I think it all depends what kind of alien it is. Like, and to make a thing like that happen, that's like magical, like.
specifically by the gods.
In India, the epic.
I mean, look at God and Jesus Christ and that shit. I mean,
details the ancient
like he's an alien, and he might not be the gray aliens, but I mean he's an alien of some kind. You know, we don't know what kind of specific race he is.
In Buddhist mythology, it was known to have human and
Other than the
serpent-like
fact that he's a
traits.
celestial
It was
being.
also known to be persecutors
You know?
of all creatures, very poisonous and with great strength.
Question arises as to why.
Man, I wish monsters were around back in this day. It'd be so cool. I mean, I'm sure they are, but I'm just saying.
Scientific curiosity.
I'd be hunting for them and shit like that,
Technology.
taking them
You
down.
want to see where
Well,
you
not
can-
really, but
we humans would do that.
at least
I think
catch them on
any
camera.
human beings would. But they might have created these various hybrid
Experience it
creatures
once.
to actually intimidate the existing human populace so that they would give them no trouble. Or perhaps to create these creatures so they
Another
would
good
be
episode is
gods
the Shapeshifters. They're talking about werewolves
Even though
and
they're
vampires
advanced
and
aliens,
blood-sucking
they might
monsters.
crave attention from humans.
Perhaps
And this
they
one's about like
wanted
ancient Greece
some
monsters
type of slave labor
and
that
modern day
would not
monsters,
just
what it was
be
big for,
done out
like monsters,
by
all that good shit.
adding human
Cryptids.
intelligence to, let's say, a bull. They could create.
I'm not
a
sure what year this
creature
one came
that
out.
would
This
be
is like the
able
third
to
season
move
that they ever made.
quite a bit of weight
But
and work.
the
without
Shapeshifter one, I
exhaustion,
think it's like
but still have the intelligence
like the
to
newest
follow rules.
newest one I got, and that's like season 13.
In 1970,
I think it is.
scientists.
I'm pretty sure
from
I did a video
Case
about it.
Western Reserve University School of Medicine.
Yeah, I did.
Led by
Because
Dr.
I was watching it and I was doing a video on Georgia.
performed a highly controversial operation.
So check that out if you haven't not seen it.
Transplanting the head of one monkey onto the body of another.
Yo, who the hell transplants a monkey onto another fucking monkey?
Superior technician, and had come to Cleveland from the Mayo Clinic, where I think he learned really
Don't turn into a freak.
excellent
Come on now.
surgical care in the operating room.
Maybe it doesn't want to be
In
that.
this room, there's a large amount of items from my dad's original laboratory. This is a halo, a brain transplant halo device that would clamp the brain here as such, and then they could actually put the patient in and complete the transplant with the body here. This would hold the brain, the monkey's brain, and then the transplant could occur here with a spinal connection and the connection to the neck, right here.
They transferred the head It was essentially a brain transplant by taking the whole head. He was able to restore consciousness to the head of the monkey who had been transplanted and kept it alive for approximately 3 days.
3 days. 3 fucking days? Seriously?
His eyes, he was able to hear, see.
And then what
smell.
else? Did he die then?
As a result, they could show
That's
that
messed
this
up.
procedure could be done, it could work.
Even at our stage on Earth, we have the ability.
And don't get me wrong, I'm glad they tried something like that freaky like, but
creature. Now,
it's just kind of pointless. Like, who the fuck would do that?
Various entities.
Like, what's the point of
Like
it?
the Minotaur, the Hydra, and even the Griffin could be created by advanced transplantology.
Yeah, by aliens, not by humans.
If extraterrestrials visited Earth in ancient times, might the tales and depictions
Somewhere
of weird
out of this
hybrid
fucking world
monsters
created all those fucking monsters.
provide evidence of alien
That's a
contact? Or do they provide clues to our own future?
It's like, look at the Egyptians. Like, how the fuck did they build all the tombs and that shit and structures, ruins? Like, how the fuck did they do all that shit all by hand? There's no fucking way. They had the help of aliens. I mean, all they had was a pick
scientist
and another thing was a bare hand.
at the
Like,
Shanghai
seriously,
Second
like,
Medical
there's
University
no way they could lift up like a ton of
successfully fused
slab of
cells
stone
with rabbit
and
eggs.
stack it on top of another one. There's no way. Like, how the fuck
Were
did they do
the
that?
first human
They didn't have
animal
machines
hybrids
back in the day.
created through genetic engineering.
She took rabbit egg cells and removed all of the nuclear material from them, all of the instruction set that tells them to develop into a rabbit embryo. She replaced it with a similar instruction set.
Yeah, look at
but
the
from a
Aztecs.
human cell.
They disappeared.
So essentially,
I think they did. No, the Mayans did. The Mayans disappeared. And no one knows what the fuck ever happened to them. They could have been the aliens all along, helping out the other countries or whatever. The Egyptians, Aztecs,
and human DNA. The first reason is for medical research
India,
purposes,
you name it.
perhaps for organ transplantation. The second reason is to create an enhanced human. That is, give the human some sort of quality they might not have unless spliced with a rabbit gene. Although it's hard for me to imagine what that would be.
A year later,
Yeah, it's like saying,
2004,
oh, I'm gonna give you a dick transplant. I'm gonna grow another dick on you. You said you're freaking like,
human blood
like
flowing
who the
through
fuck
their
would do that?
bodies.
One of the animals is actually quite close to us, surprisingly enough, in terms of genetics.
Like, you're gonna piss 2 times, you're gonna fuck 2 times.
And one
So
of
be
the ideas that's been put forward is the idea of literally having almost like pig factories to grow hearts for people who need a heart transplant. And literally, you'd have a pig's heart inserted into your body. And, with certain drugs to prevent the organs being rejected, you could live a full and viable life.
DMT?
At the moment in time, medical technology is able to create weird situations, genetic things which shouldn't really happen and which do not happen unless you start to make genetic modifications. This is evidence of manipulation of the genetically available material. We are creating hybrid monsters as we speak.
If modern science today would be able to create a hybrid being, a mixed being, then that would in essence corroborate the ancient alien theory, because we're merely saying that what today is being discovered is a rediscovery of what already took place thousands of years ago, meaning genetic experimentation.
But is there any actual evidence of DNA splicing in the ancient past? In 1849, in what is now Iraq, British archaeologist Austin Henry Layard uncovered numerous Sumerian clay tablets inscribed with cuneiform script dating to 4000 BC. Based on interpretations of the tablets, ancient astronaut theorists believe an advanced race of intelligent beings arrived on Earth 450,000 years ago during the age of Neanderthals. And through genetic engineering, they created Homo sapiens, what is commonly referred to as modern-day human beings.
The Sumerians talk about a civilization that came here from above on another planet called Nibiru. And they call these creatures the Anunnaki. High-level people who came here to mine for
Sounds like
gold.
knocking.
And in order to do it, they needed to genetically alter
Sounds weird, right?
the species
They look the same.
that happened to be on the
They sound
planet
the
at the
same.
time. They
Can they be
created
connected?
man
Who the fuck knows?
according to the Sumerian text.
It's not impossible that we exist as the result of gene manipulation experiments. There are so many stars and galaxies out there in space that it's impossible for a scientist such as myself to say that there are not alien species out there who could have visited the Earth at some point in the distant past. So it is entirely possible that someone or something could have come along and manipulated those organisms.
Somewhere out of this fucking world,
So
caused all that shit to happen.
means that if extraterrestrials tampered with our own DNA, they could have also tampered with animal DNA. They could have used all sorts of DNA from every single animal on planet Earth.
The creation of a chimeric monster is certainly something that will probably be possible within the next 20 to 30 years. We have the technology now to
like, how do these
create
monsters have
these kinds
superpowers?
of
Like Medusa, like how she has that
chimeras,
gaze to
something
turn
that
someone
might
to
be
stone,
perceived as a
and
monster. But
the
what we
basilisk
don't
can
have
turn
right now
someone to
is
petrified,
the technology to bring
petrification.
such a creature to term.
And what else has superpowers that's
But that's
hybrid
only a
monsters?
matter
Like,
of
If the mythical monsters of the ancient past
don't
really did exist,
oh, dragon.
what were they? Messengers from alien gods? Products of genetic experimentation? Biomechanical weapons? And if they did exist, where is the physical evidence? Still buried miles beneath our feet? Or are they, in fact, still out there? Somewhere, waiting to return.
Yep. That basically shows that there's still hope.
To return.
Alright, guys, that was it for that one. That was a good fucking episode. It happens to be my favorite one in the season 3. You should know it. Might watch me Halloween 4. Return of Michael Myers. This was a good one, you know. Gonna give me a fucking drink. So I'll be right back. Alright. Yeah, guys, so next time when I go into that alien piece of place, I'm gonna kick the door open and I'm gonna say, alright. Welcome to my world. I'll do like how he does it in that one movie, Texture to Matter, Next Generation, Matthew McConaughey. So I think that'd be the perfect introduction for my character to make an appearance there again. I should have done it when I first did the video, but I didn't think of it at the time. But I'm gonna like film it. I'm gonna give like a reaction out of everyone. I either should come out of the bathroom or just enter the building myself, like the first door that you see. You know, I want to work there and like make like an introduction to myself. Like that'd be pretty cool. You know, who wants to see that? You know, come on now. Especially that's my place. You know. watching
Halloween night.
Halloween 4, but this is
A
just
small American
trailer, I think, or some kind of introduction.
15 years ago.
What's these? I thought about watching one in the sauce today, so who knows? I'm turning it down some. I can't believe the directors from the very first ones died from a terrorist act. That's fucked up. I might as well watch this one because genetically, not only the new Halloween coming out, but when you look at Halloween Kills, it's technically the fourth one, or what basically what it came out, or that the second one with Michael Myers in it. I kind of wish they did not for the 2018 movie. I kind of wish they didn't say, "Oh, the original happened first, and then the 2018 one did." I kind of wish the first two took place and then the 2018 one did, but because technically the second one happened the same fucking night. I guess clearly they weren't fucking thinking. They could have just had 2018 be in the third one. In the third one, Michael Myers wasn't even fucking in the third one. Could have just fucking added that on and forget about every other sequel there was in the franchise. But no, they had right after the original one. That was stupid. It's just the original, and that was it. Not after the second one that happened the same fucking night, though. Man, I'm fucking thirsty as a motherfucker. It's fucking hot outside, guys. So yeah. And this is the thing about the introduction of the fourth one I did not like about. Is that they bandaged that fucker up after everything he's done in the second one. They couldn't think of a better plot for the beginning, like how he became, moving on after the second one. I mean, I'll shut up now, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, first time here, huh? Hope it's the last time. You never get used to the faces. Never.
Yeah, I'm fucking thirsty, guys.
Jesus. Jesus ain't got nothing to do with this place. Yeah, this is tired it goes. It's worse night. Yeah, the one you're picking up. Just thinking about it. Give me the blues. Yeah, a decade ago, Halloween night, he murdered 16 people, maybe more, trying to get to his sister. Yeah, we got it too. But his doctor, of all people, shot him 6 times. Then he set him on fire. Both of them nearly burned to death. Yeah, I'll be glad to see this movie gone. Yes, indeedy. Welcome to hell.
Doctor? Yes. The transfer personnel are here.
So, trying to see if we can get more fuckers in here. That's all.
Dr. Hoffman, medical administrator.
I mean, that'd be pretty cool,
Been prepped, ready to go. Who signs for it? I do. Outside. Check him out.
You guys sadly missed. Whoever didn't see it is missing ancient aliens. Well, was missing ancient aliens. Alien porn, I should say.
I'd assume Dr. Loomis would be here. Michael Myers is still his patient.
If Loomis read memos, he'd be here. Fortunately, his position is more ceremonial than medical. With Myers gone, my hope is that he'll either transfer, retire, or die.
I'm sure what my next Halloween movie is going to be. Probably Halloween. I don't even want to be part of 6. But I haven't watched that one in a good fucking while. 6. I hate 6. It's the worst, shittiest one in the fucking franchise. But I tell myself I gotta watch it because I haven't watched that one. God knows how long. It's been like years I haven't watched that. Probably because it's my shittiest one ever in the fucking franchise. It's off topic. And like Michael Myers wasn't scary in it. It was off topic. It was a cult. Throwing a cult bullshit. And yeah, you probably could say, oh, you can hate 5 as well because that's what led up to the 6. But at least 5 was pretty fucking scary, and I like who plays Michael Myers, that Native American guy, Don Hanks. He did a good job playing Michael Myers in that one, better than the fucking 6th one. Not just that, but the mask was sick. It was badass in the 5th one. I like that alien look going on to it. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, niece living in his hometown. And she's too young to be.
I mean, he may not have been scary, but at least his look was scary, at least. Michael Myers in the 5th one.
No, I still don't understand.
Like, this Michael Myers is fucking brutal as a motherfucker, man. Brutal like how he was in the 2nd one. That's what we want. In the newer ones, like, he was fucking scary. Like, he used his bare hands to kill people, man. Like, I'm sure, like, holy shit, man. Like, couldn't we get that in the fucking, like, other ones that they could have done? Like, in the 5th one, or the 6th one, or the 7th one? I did like Resurrection. He was pretty fucking scary in that one. And he may not have been brutal, but, like, he's scary not to fuck with, at least. Resurrection, Michael Myers.
I can't sleep. What is this, 4 nights in a row? You going for a record here at the 7th Insomniacs Hall of Fame? You love me, Rachel.
I kind of hope that
Serious questions
one of the girl that plays Jamie off. Her name.
Jamie, sometimes
Who plays her? That's just Daniel Harris. I kind of hope she comes back one last time in the Halloween franchise, since she did in the Rob Zombies and that shit, remakes and also the originals. So kind of had to bring that character back. I mean, if they brought back Jamie Lee fucking Curtis, they can damn well bring back Daniel. As I said her last name, Daniel Harris.
You're lucky. I wish you could do the same for me.
And who knows? They might do that. I mean, I always heard talks that they were going to do that. And I also heard talks they were going to bring back Dr. Loomis, which like the actual like actor who plays him, even though he's dead. But they could use like CGI or some shit.
Sleep tight. Toast for breakfast, okay? Night night. I'm on Sunday. Night night.
I would like to get a couple of the Halloween 4 Max. It was like the only movie that had a crazy selection of like variations. Some fucking reason, like they had the albino one, they had the drugstore one when he picks it up, and then you have like the medium eye one, and then you have like the large eye one. That's like the large eye, like the one you see when she's like hallucinating of him, and the one you see throughout the movie. You have like the stunt ones, like when he's like weathered up a little bit, like when he's like taking down the cars at the end of the movie, like throwing people out of the truck and that shit, whatever it was. I want to charge my phone. I should have charged it a long fucking time ago, but I didn't really think of it. So, I'll be right back.
Ugh.
Fuck, I'm tired. Oh, check with them. All right, bad guys. Yeah, I love you, buddy. Everybody. I actually thought he was there as it, but turns out it's just a hallucination. But I always believed that Michael Myers always had that Jason Voorhees shit going on to him, like fast travel transportation ability, like teleportation ability. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's the boogeyman. You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you expect? I mean, you think he would have that teleportation like Jason Voorhees shit going on to him, since he has everything else. Well, that's Jason-like, and Jason is basically like the ripoff of Michael Myers. Because you guys do not know that. I'm not sure what year this one came out. I think 88, maybe. I mean, this one, the title is right here, but it doesn't mean anything. I'm not that crazy for Michael Myers, but I do like him though. Don't get me wrong, but he's not my favorite horror slasher. We all know who that is, and that's Jason. That's my favorite. But you know, yeah. Everyone each has his own, and I respect that.
That's not the only thing you're eating, Rachel. Mom, I'm on a diet. You want an oinker for daughter? Sorry.
Michael Myers would probably be like my third or fourth spot to like. Yeah, teleporting. Like, I always thought he had that, but turns out he doesn't. I mean, he kind of does in a way, but you don't really notice it. Only in this one, like. But it turns out it's all a hallucination in Jamie's mind. And how does she know what her uncle looks like with the mask on? Like, he always has that wondering. Like this may be like the goofiest Halloween that they ever made, but it was like the best one they ever made though, because it had that Halloween vibe to it. What it was like the drugstore scene, and like the atmosphere, like yeah. Like it felt like it was actually taking on like an actual Halloween season, like in real life, like just how you would imagine, like around here or some shit. I can't think of any other time he has that teleportation ability, like Myers, but.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean it like that. I can go out with Brady tomorrow night. It's no big deal.
She wants to go tonight. It's my fault you can't.
Well, tonight we're going to do something better. We're going to go trick-or-treating.
I don't want to.
It's Halloween. I mean, don't you want to get dressed up in a really scary costume and get some candy?
Another thing that they could have done is like, why I don't like about Rob Zombie's Halloween, because he was just a kid, and for some reason he has that just a body of evil. Like seriously, bro, like how the fuck he went from the jail to this like supernatural being? Like that didn't make any goddamn bit of sense for Rob Zombie. Even though his movies were good, the remakes, but he was scary as fuck in that one. There's two movies that they ever made of Michael Myers, but. Like they never said like what made him become the supernatural being in the remake. The remake, that is. Even though they don't say it in the original franchise, but they hinted out at least like revealing that he's born on Sam Hain. He is Sam Hain technically. He's evil. He is the boogeyman. He's like Sam. Yeah. He's the spirit of Halloween.
I can see this is useless.
Do you know what today is? Do you know the date?
I mean, Donald Pleasant was just a badass legend in this franchise. Yo, I wish he didn't die in real life. It's awesome how they keep bringing him back, and he's fucking hell. Maybe they're like, what if like a flashback or some shit, or diagram of a description drawing or some shit. And now they're thinking about using like CGI and that shit on him. Like, there's so many ways you can bring him back. Like, seriously.
Yes, I see. I see, Major. Apparently, there was an accident just south of Mill Creek near the Loomis.
What's his name? Like, he's basically the hero in this franchise. I guess because he knows that he's responsible because he let him escape, and you probably would have done the same thing too if you were trying to like earn your redemption of being forgiven by the authority or kids that are they're hating you just because you did something. It's kind of like Tommy Jarvis. Like, he brought Jason back to life in the sixth one, even though he didn't mean to, but he was toying with him, and and then he brought him back to life, and he escaped. He's out killing people, and he knows that he's responsible, so he's trying his best to stop him and be a hero about it. So yeah, that's basically what they were trying to do with Donald Pleasance's character. But I don't know what year this one came out, so I don't know like what's specifically based off of Jason Voorhees. Even though the fact that Michael Myers has a supernatural ability other than Jason, but and the fact that they're both silent killers, and the fact that they look as almost the same because of the clothing, but that's pretty much about it. Anything else I can't really think of, like any other inspirations from each horror slasher genre.
He's gone. Did you find any other body? Not yet. You want to find him? He's done all this.
Now he's escaped.
You don't know that. Michael could have been thrown from the bus.
I've seen bodies thrown 50, 60 feet from a crash site.
Even if by some miracle Michael is conscious.
I always wonder if Michael Myers was based off anything in real life. Even though he's not my favorite, but I do want to find out if he was I do want to find out if he was based off anything in real life. That'd be pretty cool if he was. Was it based off Charles Manson, maybe? Nah, fucking no, I doubt it. But I'm just saying.
It's a 4-hour drive. You can reach me through the local police.
Everything else is based off of real life, whatever's Leatherface, Freddy, Jason, kind of. That's coincidental. Like I said, I mentioned that before about the melon heads, like how they're kind of like coincidentally like him and the melon heads and Jason. Other than the fact that they kill people and they became cannibals and they take refuge in the woods and they have hydrocephalus. That's exactly what Jason had. It's weird. So it's hard not to think that's coincidentally, but who the fuck knows? But Michael Myers, you don't hear anything about being based off true life. And Pennywise, he's based off that pedophile clown guy. I honestly think they would have still made it no matter what, even if Stephen King didn't guys inspiration from anything. It's fun to think that. Another thing is Candyman. He's another one. He's another horror slasher. I guess you can count on. There's a new movie coming out, and I always wonder what the hell he's based off of. I don't want to be Sam. It'd be pretty cool if he was based off anything in real life. Sam. Like Sam, he's basically this spirit, this entity, this fairy like creature. And that's another mask variant, the bandages mask. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I just noticed that too. Other than the ones I mentioned earlier. And that's another thing, like, this is like the transportation I'm telling you guys about, like, the teleportation, like, as soon as he, like, looks away or some shit, he's gone all of a sudden. Apparently, I heard new Candyman's coming out. Yeah, I know, I just said that, yeah. And I always wonder what he's based off of in real life. Oh, yes, it's goddamn you. Like, was that all in Loomis's mind, or was he, like, who the fuck knows? Yeah, he takes his vehicle. So he was there. I think he takes his vehicle. Yeah, he's the like. Yeah, he drives away. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, monkey. That was a huge hell of chaos, bro.
Hey, Jamie, where's your costume? Where's Matt for wearing it? Because your uncle's the boogeyman. Boogeyman, boogeyman.
Man, kick your dicks, man.
Boogeyman. How come your mom didn't make you a costume, Jamie? How could you? Your mom was dead. Jamie's mommy. Mommy. Stop it, okay?
It would have been more of a dick move to have like a Michael Myers mask with him or some shit. Like just like trigger her, you know what I'm saying? So, oh, this is what your uncle looked like. Another thing that they could have done is like, I always wonder what the fuck is that? I mean, I get the fact like it's based off a Kirk mask, but what was it in the movie? You know what I'm saying? The mask itself. Like, what is just? Was it a ghost? Like, was it some kind of albino guy? Like, like I always wondered that. What was the boogeyman mask? Was it a boogeyman mask? Was it named that, or like what was the Michael Myers mask? I mean, like, before it became, you know, a legend, you know, obviously. Like, what was it in the very first movie? Like, what was it? Like, because people said that he should randomly pick up the mask and he stole it. But this is like the fourth one. They never said like what was the mask? You know, I mean, I'm just getting too deep into that shit. But I like theorizing shit when I'm talking to you guys. You know, while watching these kinds of movies. I like theorizing shit, in case you didn't notice. So, yeah.
Well, I don't want to seem desperate or anything. Face it, Rach, you are desperate. You just didn't go in and buy a costume for Jamie. Perfectly legit.
I don't know.
Well, do I drop you at the discount mark or the Dairy Queen?
Jamie?
Discount mark. You can get ice cream after.
You bet.
I love this scene. I like to get those props, man, from the drugstore scene. Like this Halloween decorations, including the masks. Like you don't see that kind of shit in the average drugstore for Halloween. Not like back then, maybe, but yeah.
Hey, wait, why don't you go ahead and make your move? Don't rush me, Brady. Timing's got to be primo. Money talks, the bullshit walks. You know what I mean? Don't learn nothing you don't have to kill you.
I mean, like, if I was like a huge Halloween Michael Myers fan, like I know a guy on YouTube. His name is The House of Max. I recommend you check him out. He's pretty cool. He collects a lot of Michael Myers shit. But I mean, if I was like really big into Michael Myers, I would be collecting every single piece from this drugstore right about it fucking now. But I'm not, sadly. So yeah, like I said, I'm into Jason, you know. So deal with me. They do need to do like a Halloween special for Jason. That'd be pretty cool. Like, what would that be like? That's like how. That's not. I just realized this is like the only time he uses teleportation because like we're always expecting this random guy just to walk into a building all burnt up and pick up the mask like very easy and just wear it out in public and not get caught whatsoever. And even though Jamie sees him in the mirror, and other people don't, it's like he's like a ghost. You know what I'm saying? I like to get that alien one, the monkey one. That was pretty cool. I don't even know like the name for it. I like to get a couple Michael Myers masks from each movie if that's possible, you know. But I ain't counting on it. I like to get Jason shit first. Well, we'll see. Who knows? I mean, I'd like to do a couple Michael Myers just to entertain you guys, and I am a fan of Michael Myers, but he's not my number one man. You know what I'm saying? Like he'd probably be like my third man. Leatherface would be my second because he's badass with the chainsaw. Who the fuck needs a chainsaw? That's a weapon. And he were people's face and he's cannibal. It's like, I mean, you gotta like that shit. That's pretty entertaining. And not just that, but he happens to be like the very first horror slasher there was before anyone else. Whether it was Jason, Freddy, Michael. So yeah, that's why he's in second place for me. And you're probably gonna be wondering why Jason is the number one man because I like the way he looks. Not just that, but he has that animal characteristic going on. Like he doesn't know any better. You know what I'm saying? And there's more origins like why he does that and this and that, like the kill and that shit. Like he kills because of his mom taking advantage of him. He hears his mom's voice in his head. Not just that, but he's mentally challenged. That's another thing. And not just that, but Necronomicon. His dad was abusive. That's another one. And his dad put a curse on him when he was like young. Well, I think he was like, he wasn't even like around at the time, but he was like pregnant. Well, his mom was pregnant with him. He was a fetus at the time. So yeah, dude had a rough life, and especially he was bullied and that shit. And Freddy possibly could have molested him down underneath the water at some point. This is basically what they were getting at with that character in Freddy vs. Jason. That's technically why he's against Freddy. Because Freddy technically basically molested him, like, you know, did weird shit with him underneath the water. We don't really see it, but it hints it out, like what he did when he pulls him underneath the water, and you know, like, yeah. And that's another reason why I don't like Freddy as much, because he's a child molester, and I don't like that, you know. And you're probably going to be saying, oh, he wasn't that original, but he kind of was in Freddy vs. Jason. It hints it out. And not just that, but Wes Craven, he was originally going to make him become that. I mean, that's what I heard about Wes Craven. Like, he was originally going to make Freddy into this sick pedophilistic kind of guy, you know, but he thought he'd be hated enough the way it is, you know.
God's country, promised land. Where are you heading, Mr. Loomis? Haddonfield. Car trouble? Sort of. You're hunting it, ain't you? Yeah, you're hunting it all right. Just like me. What are you hunting, Mr. Sam? Apocalypse, end of the world, Armageddon. It's always got a face and a name. I've been hunting the bastard for 30 years, give or take. Come close a time or two. Too damn close. You can't kill damnation, mister. You don't die like a man dies. I know that, Mr. Sayer. Oh, you're a pilgrim, all right. I saw it on your face back there in the dust. I saw it clear as breasts and blue suede shoes. Would you like a drink? Yes, we'll gather at the river, the beautiful, beautiful river. Gather in the saints at the river.
That's usually cute.
Okay, Jamie, we're leaving. Where's Range? Here I am.
No, that's another representation they did for Friday the 13th. They made Jamie become Tommy Jarvis because she kills her. Well, no, she kills Michael Myers, but they all want you to think that she has that spirit in her that you know, that she became like possessed by him or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Because she kills her family and she pretends to act like him. She's like basically an imposter, like kind of like how Roy was. And since Roy died, originally Tommy Jarvis was going to be the next Jason, but they decided not to go down that path because we want Jason back. You know, like, what is this shit? Scream. So I guess they were like that. You know, even though Scream wasn't around, I don't think Scream was like around in the 90s, but still, you know. But they figured not to do that. They figured to have Jason come back, you know. And I'm glad they did that, you know. But who knows what they could do down the road. They could always like restart the franchise of Jason, and they can always have Tommy Jarvis be the killer. And I don't like it if that dude did that, but it'd be pretty cool in a way. But I don't know. It would be boring and eventually, like having him be the killer and then he dies and the spirit moves on to someone else. And nah. But that was like a one-time thing when they were doing, and I'm glad it was just that, you know. I mean, it's okay if it happens like 1 or 2 times, but after that, nah. Like I wouldn't mind having another imposter. That's kind of like what they technically did in H2O. Like at the end, like he cuts like his tongue out, and he like makes him drive as a Michael Myers killer, and as a twist at the end, like. So it can like lead up to resurrection, because originally Michael Myers was going to die in H2O, and they were going to make any more after that. But since they don't want you to think that it was an imposter all along in H2O, so they figured to go down that path and say, "Oh, let's just have that be that way." Yeah, I'm fucking thirsty, guys. I know I've been saying this like 1,000 times, but I'm just saying.
What's the new sheriff? I am. Oh, Sheriff Meeker. My name is Dr. Loomis. So around here, I'm likely to get some not cops. What brings you back here for 10 years? Michael Myers has escaped from Richmond. He's here in Haddonfield. That's impossible. Michael Myers is an influence. He's here, Sheriff. Why? 10 years ago, he tried to kill Laurie Strode. Now he wants her daughter. You talking about James Lloyd? Wherever she is, that little child is in mortal danger. Martha's been locked up since before she was born. He's never laid eyes on her. 6 bodies, Sheriff! That's what I've seen between here and Richmond. A filling station in flames. I tell you, Michael Myers is here. In this town. He's here to kill that little girl and anybody who gets in his way.
Here's call the troopers and check the story out. And assuming what you say is true.
It's true, Sheriff.
All right, it's true.
But I hope they do bring back Donald Pleasance. I mean, he was a legend ever since this franchise. You know, they gotta bring him back. You know.
Can't get long distance, Sheriff. Operator says the lines are down.
Yeah. I know why. I know why.
All right, here's do it. Let's check on
So good shit. What's up, little buddy?
Jamie, wait for me. Oh my, what a cute little found. What I have for you. Here you go. Enough?
No, Halloween's great. Can we stay all night?
Forget it, though. We're home at 8 o'clock.
That lamp is really cool. Really? Hey, you want to go with that? Go ahead. Yeah.
Hi, Rachel. Hi. Your little clown. There you go. Good treat.
Rachel. Rachel. Second. Rachel. Wait a second.
Please. You don't know me anymore. Just leave me alone and let's forget it.
No, I don't understand. You blew up for days the last minute.
So you hop on to the next best thing? I thought you were different from other guys.
I'm different. It's just that it's got this spot.
Oh, really? Well, I'll just let you get back to the US. Hot cat.
It's Rachel.
Jamie?
Brady. Are you coming in or what?
Ray, Rachel. Ray. We're at the sheriff's office. All 6
And another mask you could probably do on here is the prank mask, like the prank imposters.
Like old Ben Meeker do something like that. Sure ain't. Marshall could land on Ben's doorstep, all he do is spit and get himself a shotgun. Who do you call? Police station. Closing down without a good goddamn reason. Well, just ring. Come on. police station? No way. No how. Wake up the sheriff.
Something? It's been here. What do you know?
Starting to spook me, Doc.
Please, I'm not alone. Logan, I want you to stay here in case the family gets back.
Right here, Ben.
You look
I'm back.
Hey, you. This city property. No trespassing. What are you, deaf? Don't try that Halloween shit with me. All right. I'm on the telephone to the police right now. Don't you even think about leaving.
Can't believe it's only one.
Jamie.
But yeah, guys, I'm going to Baltimore, so that's good. I don't like working no more, you know.
Rachel, is that you? Is that you?
Jamie? Jamie?
Wait, did you guys like watch closely at Jamie Lee Curtis how young she was in Halloween? The original. She looks so much like Heath Ledger. If Heath Ledger had another sister, like she would definitely match up, like in that family. You know what I'm saying? Like she looks so much like him. She has that face feature, you know. She has that smile like him and that shit. Dude, if you had another sister, like, I mean, I don't know. Like, I would like say, I mean, damn, you know. Like I would actually like fall for it, you know. Like whoever said that they were ever related, I would actually fall for it. Like they had those vibes, you know what I'm saying? And similarities and that shit.
Whoever you are, I have a big dog with me and he'd fight.
Jamie! Where have you been? Don't ever go up on your own at night again, okay? Not ever.
Wait, I'm probably not gonna get each mask from the franchise of Halloween, but I like to get one from my favorite movies, at least. You know.
Is that him?
Yes.
Loomis.
Oh, Christ, Doc. Jacob.
Hey, don't shoot!
See, you can tell Michael Myers was like a famous killer at the time because of these guys who were pranking him with their Michael Myers versions, costumes, and their shit. So, yeah. But in the original, like, they never said like what the mask was truly was.
This is 132. Come in, Pierce. Come in, Pierce.
That's 4 people, I thought. They all fourth one disappeared. But yeah, watching Halloween 4, you know, whoever's out there, third person. I can't find my car keys. I have them, called them, 13. I'm sorry to hear that, bro. I mean, I don't know what to tell you exactly. You must be new here, friend. I haven't seen you. Maybe I left them in the car. Check the car. Is this a joke? Because Holland Man, he drives the car in the movie and shit, and I know where it goes at from there.
Man, do this. Tell me.
Holland Man 13. I love that name. 13.
What is he?
I wasn't crazy about Holland Man. I mean, I do like Kevin Bacon, the performance in that movie, but the second one sucked dick. I do like the first one, though. The first one will forever be the best one. That's another horror classic I like. Yeah. It wasn't scary, but it's more like a funny and scary, you know. Like if I had to pick a horror slasher that was scary for me when I was a kid, it wasn't Jason. It wasn't Freddy. It was probably Leatherface or Michael Myers. But I don't know. If I had to pick like one that had no comedy in it whatsoever, it'd probably be Michael Myers. Like, there's no comedy in this franchise whatsoever, but it is in the other horror slashers. I noticed.
Not this time, Ben. I'll handle it my own way. I'll fry his ass. Son of a bitch, you just created a lynch mob.
You haven't got to believe us. These men may be the only defense you've got.
Let's hunt this back. God help us.
Yeah, man, you were. I found them. They were in the drive. Are you serious? They were in the drive? Oh, probably because of your pants. Pocket or some shit. Hey, man, I appreciate you coming over. I mean, it means a lot, dude. You must be new here because I haven't seen you here before. I haven't get new people on here on this live stream lately, so you know, that's pretty cool. You know, it's fun seeing new. Even if you aren't subscribed, I mean, I appreciate you visiting. You know, that's pretty cool. As long as you know, like something like, as long as you ain't like a dick or anything, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't need that shit here. You know? But I mean, it's cool. Yeah, I mean, thanks, man. Thanks for visiting. Yeah. It seems like every time I do a live stream, like the more I do them, it seems like I'm going to get someone new here. It seems like. Yeah. Are you into horror, dude? I mean, that's cool if you are. I mean, I'm into classic horror. I mean, I like all horror stuff, but I mean, I'm into like horror slashers and that shit. It'd be funny. The Michael Myers mask was Hollow Man all along because Hollow Man does look like Michael Myers, kind of, with the eye cut out and that shit. I just thought of that. But what if that's basically a ripoff? I don't think Hollow Man was. What year Hollow Man came out? It was like the 90s or some shit. And Michael Myers came out in the 80s. So, like, what are the odds of who got the inspiration from that shit? I like horror. Yeah, that's awesome, dude. That's cool. Yeah. It's like a sport, Yeah, that's cool. It's kind of sad, like how not any of my friends are into that shit except for me. I mean, they're into like The Walking Dead or some shit, or they're into a little bit of that. But they aren't like into like Jason, like how I'm in, or Leatherface, or I don't know. Like they aren't into like any other stuff. Like maybe The Walking Dead, like I said, but that's pretty much about it. I'm trying to think of like what else. I mean, it's cool if I get into sports and shit. I mean, I'm not a sporty kind of guy, but it is what it is. I just came home just now. I mean, I was in Virginia. I didn't do that many live streams down there. But yeah. John Voorhees. Oh, I'm watching Halloween 4, dude. Because the new one's coming out. Halloween 4 happens to be like the best one they ever fucking made because it has a Halloween vibe to it. You know what I'm saying? The kills in are good. Michael Myers is fucking scary as shit. It has a Halloween atmosphere, including that the drugstore scene. I love that fucking scene so much. It has a Halloween vibe to it. And kids trick or treating their asses off. It has an atmosphere. Like, you know what I'm saying? I love that. I mean, other than the original, I do like the second one. That happens to be my favorite one because that's all I mean. Michael Myers is pretty fucking scary as shit in that one. Like the way how he walks like a robot. Dick Warlock's performance is fucking amazing in that movie. I'm not sure who's the actor for this one. This is Michael Myers, but yeah. I mean, I could have asked for a scary Michael Myers. The only time I consider him scary is when he has like the medium eyes, like the larger eyes. He wasn't that scary. I'd rather choose like the 5 eyes size, like the alien mask from 5. Yeah, part 4 was good. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. My favorite one's 5 because I like the fact he looks like an alien. I love aliens, and I love Don Shanks. I like the fact he's a Native American, That's pretty cool, And I grew up watching 5 when I was a kid, and that may have been like the first one I ever saw, other than the original. So yeah. Like I was just talking about earlier, like how they could have like set what up for the new one coming out, like you all know like how 2018 came out. Like they could have like. Couldn't that take place like after the events of the first 2 movies and not the fucking original? Like because the second one takes place obviously the same fucking night. Like seriously, couldn't they just done that? Like take place like after the first 2 movies? But no, like they didn't do that. Like they took place like after the original, and that was it. Even though like they should have taken place after the second one. And what else am I thinking of? I mean, I'm just getting too deep into this shit, but I mean, I like talking about this shit, you know? It comes down to horror and that shit, like what they could have done, what, you know?
I'm gonna be outside upstairs.
And like the third thing, like the third movie, like Michael, he wasn't even in it because we all thought he wasn't never gonna come back. Like the originally, like how he wasn't supposed to. But seriously, like couldn't they put the 2018 in that column after the second one? Like what the hell? Like, yeah, like because that's what I thought it was at first, but no, it's after the original. Now that was it. Just the original, you know. I just like how there's so many mask variants in this one. That's why I like about 4, other than the fact that it has that Halloween vibe to it. Like I said, like there's like the medium eyes, there's large eyes, like the one you see throughout the movie. Yeah, there's a high school one where he's like has the white hair, Ben Tramer looking one, the Bono looking one. You have like the prank ones. Those kids wear the imposter ones. You have like the bandage one when like the one you see at the beginning of the movie. I like to collect like each one from the fourth one since I like the fourth one a lot, you know. But the ones in the other movies, there aren't that many variants. Sadly, like it isn't like Jason. You know what I'm saying? Like how each Jason movie has like 2 or 3 differences, like throughout the movie. You have the clean version, you have the weathered version, you have the battle damage version. And like seriously, like yeah. That's why I'm not too crazy about Michael Myers as much. After this, I'm sure I'm gonna watch probably another movie since I got an audience here. So that's saying I appreciate you guys for coming over. So yeah, I was just watching Ancient Aliens before all of this. I do have part 4. I might watch that. How about that? I might watch Final Chapter after this. Since I'm already in watching the 4th Halloween movie, I might as well watch the 4th Jason Friday the 13th movie that they ever made. That's supposed to be their last one, but even though it wasn't. So yeah. How'd you come up with your name? I don't know. What, from my YouTube? I mean, I love aliens, so I mean, look around you, dude. I mean, it's pretty fucking sick. I mean, I would show you guys the whole entire universe in my room, but if I move the computer like anymore, like towards this way, the fucking mic is gonna go off, and I have to restart the whole entire fucking live stream. So I'm not gonna fucking do that shit. But, see, I love aliens, bro. You know, like, yeah, I figured I had that title, Jeremy Alien Smith. People are saying, "Oh, go change your name." I mean, why the fuck should I? I mean, I want to be like some kind of like legend to you guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to know like who I am, and I want you to know who I am. Like, you see, other actors have their first and last name on YouTube channels and that shit. So why the fuck should I change mine? You know what I'm saying? So the only thing that I changed is adding the alien in between the first 2 names, Jeremy Alien Smith. Technically, that's not my actual middle name, but it'd be pretty cool if it was. You know, my middle name is actually Dean, but I don't. It's pretty cool in a way because I do like Dean ever since like Jeffrey Dean Morgan became part of The Walking Dead. You watch Walking Dead by any chance? Because I love Walking Dead. I could talk on and on about that shit. Especially if you guys are horror fans out there. I mean, you should watch The Walking Dead. You know, but it's pretty cool because Negan's last name is Smith, and that's my last name. And what's really coincidental about it is because Jeffrey Dean Morgan, his middle name is Dean, and it happens to be my middle name as well. Like, me and him are like brothers, man. That's pretty cool in a way.
I'm trying.
And I do love Negan, you know. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you might not like him because after what he's done to Glenn and that shit, but I don't give a shit. Yeah, don't give up on The Walking Dead. Just because Glenn died doesn't mean you go jack off or go on to something else in life. Don't quit that show just because Glenn died. I don't like people that quit that show just because Glenn died. Seriously. I mean, Negan had his reason to kill people in that lineup. I mean, Rick killed his men, number 1. In number 2, I mean, that was on Daryl. In number 3, they made it. The only time I consider Negan as a bad guy is because the fact he took people's shit. But once you look at it prospectively, you probably would have done the same fucking thing as he did in order to stay alive. Especially you had a huge ass group of people living with you. Like, I mean, he had all his outposts and that shit. So they had to get their food somehow. So they got their shit from the Hilltop, Kingdom, and Alexandria. So, yeah, I mean, like, who could really blame Negan for his actions? You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't hate him just because he's that. I mean, yeah. I mean, I seen worse, like the governor and that shit. Like, I was going to quit the show ever since Herschel died and that shit. Like, I was going to quit the show whenever my man Gareth died because I love Gareth and he was cool as shit. He happens to be my first arch nemesis before Negan and all of the other people. If I had to pick my ones who I think that could like redeem themselves, would be Gareth and Dante. Those two are cool. And the reason I like Dante because he was funny and cool, and his character is pretty fucking accurate from the comics. If you look at the comparisons. And I love the man who portrayed that character. He was very creepy. He had that creepy humor going on to him, like how he did in the comics. Because Maggie's like, "Do I know you?" You know what I'm saying? He was just off, but I like that. And yeah, Glenn was cool. Yeah, I mean, he may not have balls to do like kill humans and that shit, but he was funny and badass, and I liked the fact he was Asian. I think that's why most people like him because he was Asian. But you know, it's like Tyrese. You know what I'm saying? Like he was badass and too, and he was black, and he saved Judith and that shit and all that good shit. And they killed him off, and that one broke me the most. Like I can't watch that episode when he dies. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather watch Glenn's death because you know that group, someone had it coming. Yeah, I mean, it's nowhere else to put it at, you know what I'm saying? Because they killed Negan's men, you know what I'm saying? And I probably would have hated Negan if he was like a normal guy like the governor was, but since he's like the Joker, you know what I'm saying? I can't hate that guy. I can't come to that kind of justice into killing that guy. I just can't, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I forgive him, you know? It's cool if you don't, but I love that guy, you know? I love the man that plays him. I like the fact he's funny as shit. I like the fact how he kills people with the bat, crushes bastards their skulls in. It's badass, you know. And what made me become fascinated with the comics is ever since I found out who this Negan guy is in the comics, and this is before he made his appearance on the show. I told myself I gotta watch this comics now on because it was going on in season 6, and ever since season 5 came out, everyone's talking about Negan. He's this very evil bad guy, you know, even though he's fun-loving. But I tell myself, I gotta look into that character, which I did, and I followed the comics first, and then I followed him on the show, you know. That's how it was for me. So that's pretty cool, you know. Especially he did everything he can in order to redeem himself. Where the hell do you want to go? They all disappeared. Was it something I said? I don't like the fact they exiled him in the comics, but they didn't on the show. I find it to be bullshit, you know? And especially he doesn't know that Rick's dead in the comics. That's very sad. Because I would love to see Negan's reaction towards that character, Rick. Because him and him have a strong relationship.
I thought you might like some coffee.
I mean, I could talk on and on about Negan just because I love that guy, you know? Same goes to Jason, you know, yeah. They're my favorite icons, you know. If I had to pick another one, definitely be Heath Ledger's Joker. I love Heath Ledger and I love his Joker, you know. He's another icon I like out there other than Negan and Jason. These are like my top guys I like, you know. You down with the bitch? I want to kill that shit. She's fucking hot, bro. Seriously, if I was a killer, I would never kill women or kids just because how messed up that is, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I was like Jason, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be doing that shit, you know? This is not cool, you know?
Okay. Great, we'll be waiting.
But since Michael Myers is disembodiment of evil, you have no choice but to kill whoever stands in your way, obviously, you know. Just like the horror rules. Dude, you better not quit the show just because Glenn died, dude. If you're still on here, you better not quit that show just because Glenn was your favorite. It doesn't mean you have to quit the show, dude. Show is hell tons more better ever since Glenn was destined to die, in my opinion. You know, because he died in the comics, and you should have focused on the comics first before you were expecting that. You know. I mean, Glenn was my favorite too. Don't get me wrong. I love him. He's like Short Round from Indiana Jones shit. You know, I like the fact. I kind of wish they had his hat on when he killed him. Kind of like how he did in the comics. I think that would be like more emotional because we grew up watching this guy ever since from the start as this piece of delivery boy early on into the apocalypse and that shit. I kind of wish they had the actual guy that plays Short Round from Indiana Jones and the Goonies. That actually would have been cool if they had that. I think that would be like more emotional if they had him instead of Stephen Yeun. Stephen Yeun did one hell of a fantastic job as Glenn, but I kind of wish they had that one actor from the Goonies and Indiana Jones to play Glenn. I think that would have been more emotional. You know what I'm saying? Like that would like rise the audience up into like wanting to hate Negan, but not really. But yeah. Maybe that's why they didn't do that. Like they already know like what they were gonna go down a path with Glenn, you know, so they figured not to have that actor. Because we grew up watching this actor when he was a kid, like the kid from the Goonies and Indiana Jones. So maybe that's why they didn't put him in The Walking Dead. And he hasn't done acting in God who knows how long. He hasn't done acting ever since 2015. That was like this latest update on IMDb from what I saw. Dude, shoot the motherfucker! Brady, shoot the motherfucker! Blow his fucking brains out! This part was fucking terrifying to me, bro. You actually want to feel bad for Brady right here. Man, that was fucking brutal, man. Hey, that one's on Daryl. I don't want to hear it. Yes, it was sad that Glenn died, but that one's on Daryl. They made it in a way so you can forgive Negan right off the bat. If you're still here, whoever. I'm sure who the hell's watching now because I'm down to like one person now, sadly. Where the hell did everyone go? Is this something I said? I'm just saying my opinions, you know about what could have, you know, what's for the best and what's not, you know. I would say season 9 of The Walking Dead was better than season 8. I think they could have done more from the comics than they did by far on the show, you know, with Negan and that shit. Because there's so much stuff you could have done with Negan. I mean, they were like season 6 and 7, but that was it. Like season 8, like when he like fighting Rick on his own grounds and he breaks Rick's leg, and the only thing that they did was comic related in season 8 when he snatches Negan's throat open, he lets him bleed to death, and Carl saves him. That's like the only thing. Even though Carl was dead, but Rick did it because Carl wanted Negan to see if he could change for once and be a good guy at heart, you know. That's what I'm getting at right there. But yeah, I could just keep talking about The Walking Dead. Just I guess because I'm a diehard fan, and I'm a diehard Negan fan. So yeah, it's cool if you're not that. But I kind of wish I can like convince you into liking him somewhat. You know, just to understand like why he did that shit. You know, like I don't consider him as a bad guy just because he killed Glenn and Abraham. You know, I just don't. At first, I kind of did, but not really. Like the only time I consider him as a bad guy is like when he's like a boss to everyone. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty much about it. Like he wasn't like the main threat, like how the governor was and Alpha and the Beta were. Come on, bitch, jump the fuck off! You actually want to feel bad for Daniel Harris as an actress in his movies, just because, like, even though like the actor who played Michael Myers in the Fizzle and Phil was so bad, just by scaring her to death. You know what I'm saying? I would too if I was chasing a kid actress or kid actor. Just like in the 10s or 12s or 5s, you know, I would feel so bad, you know, chasing them with a knife and wearing a mask. I mean, this just isn't cool, you know. Like, it's not, you know. I mean, it's fun to have fun with the kids like that on movie set, but not like chasing them with a mask and knife and like make it look like you're actually going about to kill them. And that poor kid doesn't even know. Like you could actually be the killer all along. Like, and that kid won't even know it. You know what I'm saying? Like kids, like they have that mind ability. They don't know who to trust in real life. You know what I'm saying?
That's the first place he looked for you. Where's the schoolhouse? The schoolhouse. Where is the schoolhouse?
This is where we're gonna see the albino Michael Myers.
We'll hear some sirens soon.
Can we be safe? You don't believe that, do you?
No.
Doo-doo. Who's on out there? Come on back. Speak up, motherfuckers.
What's going on here? We heard the alarm. Jesus, where?
In the school.
Get this.
They'll kill you too. We have to get out of Haddonfield. The state police are on their way. Let them handle it.
I don't know about you, Earl, but that makes sense to me. Let's get the hell out. At the police station. Let the troopers have it. That's what they get paid for. Screw it. Let's get out of here. Hell.
All right.
Okay, everybody, listen up. I've got Rachel Brothers and her sister in the truck. I'm taking them out of town, Route 410. State police are on the way. You got that? Okay, out. Here's the cavalry.
Where the hell did everyone go? You jacking off or some shit? This is basically the end of Halloween, pretty much. Truck chasing. Truck chasing. I mean.
We've got officers on duty. They'll take care of you. Thanks. Be okay.
I mean, I don't care if you guys say any random shit on here. Just don't be ignorant, you know what I'm saying? Come on, dude. Look fucking behind. Don't you hear your buddies in pain? How fucking dumb are you? Ooh, that would fucking hurt like a motherfucker. Poor bastard. I don't even know what fucking time is it, guys. So if you guys know, it'd be much appreciated. Man, Rachel was so fucking hot. I would never cheat on her. I'm thinking for the other woman, you know, but if I saw her first, I would never cheat on that. How the fuck is this one holding his damn knife? I see. Well, this is pretty much the end of it.
Calm down. Are you alright? Are you alright? Who's Jim? Jamie! Get away! Don't touch Jamie! Get down!
Man, we're not there anymore.
It's over. Yes. Michael Myers is in hell. Buried. Where he belongs. These kids are not like this. They've survived this ordeal. They'll survive its memory.
I'm going to take Jamie upstairs. Stay with Rachel. Come on, honey.
Yeah, I'm so weird. What the fuck happened to everyone? This took off on vacation or some shit? I'm gonna jack it off or some shit. Who the fuck knows? I kind of wish this scene never happened. Dude, what the fuck are you thinking? Ain't me a gun at, kid. Hold on, buddy. It's been best one they ever made. Right, I don't know what I'm gonna watch yet. Might put some music on. This is Leonard Skinner.
Mama told me when I was young, sat beside me, my only son.
Oh fuck! I got this. Ah.
Listen closely to what I say. You could do this, it'll help some sunny day.
But yeah, I mean, I liked it. Gareth, he was pretty cool. You know, I think he could have been the kind of guy that would have like redeemed himself. I like the fact he was a cannibal. You know what I'm saying? He was pretty cool. You know, he seemed nice. If Rick had come along and did that. I mean, even though he was going to kill him, but still, I mean, like, I don't know. I mean, he just seemed like the kind of guy that would at least change his ways of living and becoming good for Rick, you know, or anyone in life if we're giving him a second chance.
You'll find love. Don't forget, son, there is someone.
Never let him go. What the fuck wrong with this guy? Stop, this man is Lord. He's so cool. He should be a wrestler. This is the way he looks, man.
Berlin Comic Con. Welcome. Thank you for having me. To all the fans out there in the room, we love you. Without you, we just sing in the shadows.
I love Cosmic Man Lord. He should come back as Jigsaw one last time. Not a fucking flashback. Like, he needs to get the fuck out of the bath and ASAP and kick ass one more time.
It's always my favorite. And as far as my worst comic
Anyone a huge fan of Saw? I'm not the only one that's crazy about Saw. Out there, other than Jason and Buzzface and a few other cool guys.
around the world, face to face. I was a kid once too. It makes you feel like you're giving something back. More intimacy with the fans. That's as real as I can put it. I'm very grateful for having people come to see me.
I love Cosmic Man Lord. He's so cool. He's gotta start like that. I was watching a couple scenes on YouTube while I'm talking to you guys, you know. Alright. How you doing? Good.
Follow your heart and nothing else. You can do this if you try. Oh, that I won't for you, my son.
Yeah, I like the watch Days of Confused now. Come the fuck on! Fucking ads. Seriously. Why is that so fucking stupid? Yo, man.
Say, man.
You got a joint?
You got a joint? No, not on you, man. It'd be a lot cooler if you did.
Alright. I feel like watching this confused now.
Hey, not bad, man. Hey, man, this car. You know Wooderson? Oh, how's it going, man? Hey. Pretty good. How's it going with you?
I watched it all the seasons.
You got a joint? No, not on me, man. It'd be a lot cooler if you did. Let me tell you what Melvin Coast is packing right here. I've got 411 Posi Track Outback, 750 double pumper, Edelbrock intakes, board over 30, 11-to-1 pop-up pistons, turbojet, 390 horsepower. We're talking some fucking muscle.
Hey, man, I know you got this thing out of a comic book. I saw the ad, $295. It's right next
Bye,
to
Mom, love you.
Man, you see that over there? That's white.
Good night.
See the shoes on that thing? You gotta get some tires.
Well, I'm going to bed, guys. I don't even know what fucking time is it. I'm too lazy to look. Man, so cool.
Man, what is that? Long time? No see. Yes, sir. What are you up to? Same old shit, man.
Yeah?
Working for the city.
Working man, huh?
Been thinking about getting back in school, though, man.
Like a JC or something like that?
Yeah, man. I mean, that's where all the girls are, right? But on the other hand, man, I just as soon keep working, keep a little change in my pocket.
Like,
rather than spend my time listening to some dipshit who doesn't know what the hell he's talking about
I
anyway.
know what you're talking about.
So you're a freshman, right?
Yeah.
So tell me, man, how's this year's crop of freshman chicks looking?
What you could end up in jail sometime really soon. I know that. Fact.
No, man. No, man, I tell you. That's what I love about these high school girls, man.
Still watching them. They should confused, guys.
I get older, they stay the same age.
Yes, they do.
Yes, they do.
Doesn't Matthew McConaughey happens to be my favorite,
Alright.
other than Drew Carey and a few other funny actors out there.
Pretty good.
Cool. You heard about the party being busted, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Not to worry. There's a new fiesta in the making as we speak. It's out at the Moon Tower. Full kegs. Everybody's gonna be there. You ought to go.
Okay.
Okay, we'll be there.
Okay.
Say you need a ride?
No, I got my own car. Thanks.
Yeah, well, listen, you ought to ditch the two geeks in the car with now and get in with us, but that's all right. We'll worry about that later. I will see you there. All right?
Bye.
I love those redheads, man.
I know you. We had geography together, remember it?
Where's your bitch man? Get your goddamn bitch man! Get that Hell, my grandmother can hit harder than that.
Speak up, motherfuckers. Where are you guys? You guys creeping me out now.
6'4", 652-pound hairy ass gorilla drives a Mack truck and runs a 40 at 2.2.
Yeah, she's gotten bigger lately, man. She was only 6'2", 195 in my day. Still drives that Mack truck now.
Hey, Pete, you got my papers, man? Yeah, there's some in my glove compartment.
I got him. Hit me on a slant. Give the keys to the inside. Good. Damn! Marijuana on one. Reefer on two. Wide up. Hey, You better have your watch guard. Fuck you. I'll blow your doors. Leave me Not to indulge in any alcohol, drugs, sex after 12. In my day, you know, if it ain't that piece of paper, some other choice they're gonna try and make for you. You gotta do what Randall Pink Floyd wants to do, man. Let me tell you this. The older you do get, the more rules are gonna try to get you to follow. You just gotta keep living, man. L-I-V-I-N. What about Big man, what's happening? Cynthia, man, I like it. Very nice. Red's a good color for you. My favorite color. Have you seen Joey around? Man, she left your ass. Really? When you win some, you lose some.
Wooderson, Slavy, reliving old glories on the football field.
Get through there. You shouldn't still be mad because I got all this and you didn't. All right, man. Living. Shit, I'm getting my third win. Let's get on the road.
See what other one you can watch. I'm gonna watch a movie pretty soon, guys. Another movie. Especially my Prince movie.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back. Jamie here today doing another video. Today we're doing something a little bit different. We're going to do a video about the Saw theories and more specifically Hoffman.
Alright.
There's a lot of spoilers inside this video, so if you've never seen the Saw series or you don't care, then
I'll be right back.
Okay, but I would really recommend
I'll be right fucking back.
before this video. It is a really enjoyable series. It's one of the best horror series, especially in terms of story and continuity and all that. Today's video is about how Hoffman escaped the bathroom. Heavy spoilers are coming. So let's start with Hoffman. Obviously, he was first introduced in Saw 3 in a minor role in the background. He's in for 5 minutes. I think he says like 2 lines. And obviously, they expand on it afterwards with Saw 4 revealing he's a Jigsaw apprentice. Saw 5 going into his backstory. A lot of people don't seem to like Hoffman. Very decisive, this character. But I'm
just watching the Hoffman theories and
obviously, like I said, the last location we saw in was the bathroom at the end of Saw 3D, getting locked in there by Gordon. And Lawrence throws away the saw, so he has it seems like he's got no chance to escape. But come on, it's Hoffman. We've been shown throughout the whole series
he's going to come back
to escape like near-death situations. Specifically in Saw 6, at the end, we see him escape the bear trap. Now, obviously, this is his test, and it's shown that, John's testing him. Like Amanda had her test, this is Hoffman's test. And he barely manages to escape. It's also shown us that the flashbacks, John says to him, I want to know if you have what it takes to survive. And he basically proves that by getting out of the reverse bear trap the way he does. Now, obviously, we've seen 2 different people escape the bathroom throughout the series. The first one was Gordon, when he cut his own leg off in Saw 1. We also seen Matthews escape in Saw 3, when he broke his own ankle, and twisted his way out of the shotgun. So there's different ways for Hoffman to get out. Obviously, the hacksaw's already been thrown away, like we said. So that's not an option.
I don't know why, but keep getting these fucking scammers on my motherfucking Facebook, guys. Seriously.
Getting out of chains, really. He could even, it's just a little bit weird, right? But he could even eat his own leg. Hoffman could do that, right? He has that survival instinct. He'll do whatever it takes to, escape. Now, there's some evidence that people say that he's not alive, such as in Jigsaw, we see the hacksaw from the first Saw in Eleanor's place. But that doesn't necessarily mean that they found the bathroom in Hoffman. Also, the location of the bathroom, we've been shown throughout the series that there's tunnels leading to the bathroom. And also in Saw 2, we see that it's connected to this nerve gas house. But also in Saw 5, we see that Hoffman has renovated this house, and maybe he's been living there. So when they do eventually find out that Hoffman's involved in Jigsaw in like Saw 7, they go and check his place, and it's possible that they find the bathroom that way. I think there's a reason why in both Spiral and Jigsaw they never mention Hoffman by name. It's obvious that they want to keep it ambiguous to try and bring him back inside the future installment.
in Spiral we get a reference, oh, is this another Jigsaw copycat? This is in reference to
Welcome back.
Jigsaw and Halloran getting set up by Logan. I don't think this is any.
Alright, guys, I'm probably gonna log the
reference
fuck
to
out of
If you
here.
think
Well,
about
I don't know. I guess
it,
I'll keep going,
reference
just in case
to Hoffman,
whoever
and
shows up.
Last time we see him is Saw 3D, and then that's it. He's never heard from again, never seen again. No references or anything. All we've got to go on is what Eleanor inside her apartment with the hacksaw being there. It's possible that she actually found the bathroom because she is, you know, a fan of Jigsaw and all that.
Check them real quick, guys.
So maybe Eleanor found the bathroom, helped Hoffman out. Maybe Hoffman's in hiding. There's so many ways they can bring him back. Until we actually see his dead body, he's not dead. Also, let's not forget that Hoffman is a fan favorite. Like I said, it seems like some people love him, some people hate him. Now, don't get me wrong, obviously John Kramer is the best. But I think Hoffman has his moments, no doubt about it. Especially Saw 4, 5, and 6. Like, Saw 7 is a different story, obviously. The first 10 minutes are good and the last 10 minutes are good. But Hoffman goes full Michael Myers. If it was up to me in a future installment, I would tie everything together. I'd tie in Jigsaw, Spiral, and the original series. And obviously that's going to, you know, be decisive to a few people. Because no one wants to go and see a film where you have to see, like, 8 other films to understand what's going on. But I feel like at this point, like, they've tried rebooting the series, technically, with Jigsaw and Spiral. I think they should just go back to the original continuity of the story. There's too many fans out there. Let me know down below. Do you want to see Hoffman back, or are you done? That's it. Do you not want to understand like what happens to him with his fate and stuff? Because I feel like either way, we need some sort of reference to know what happened to him. You can't just go on and not reference anything, especially with Gordon as well. Like Lawrence Gordon, I understand he doesn't, you know, he's not that involved at the games anymore. The writing with Hoffman's character seems a little weird though, because obviously in number 4 we find out that he's apprentice. Number 5 we find out that his sister got killed and he framed the guy as a Jigsaw trap. And then in Saw 6 he's being tested. Like Amanda's had her test and he asks, she asks him when's your test detective? He's like, I don't need one. But that was his test at the end, the reverse bear trap. But then, you know, the consequences of that, he gets out of it and goes off to jail until eventually he's locked inside the bathroom. But like I said, there's so many different ways they could, if they wanted to write him into the story again. Like, he could even technically just do what Eric did, I guess. He could just break his own ankle and get out of the chains that way. And from what we see inside the past of the bathroom, I don't think it locks. I don't think the door locks technically, does it? Even in Saw 3, when we see Eric get out, he slides the door from the inside. So he opens it from the inside. So I don't know how the lock goes on the bathroom, but I don't think Hoffman's locked in there forever. But then the other evidence to prove that maybe he is dead, there's no reference to him in Jigsaw or Spiral. Like at the end of Saw 3D, everyone knows it's Hoffman. He's on the news. We know that he's been working with John. And then he just disappears. And then, you know, I think the game stopped for like 10 years, don't you, until the events of Jigsaw. There's also been thoughts of a TV series. I mean, if that's where we get the story continued, I'm all for it, to be honest.
Guys.
I feel like Saw is one of the best horror franchises because of this, because the story just keeps continuing throughout. The continuity is there. Most films pick up where the last film left off. Where in other horror franchises, things change constantly. The story don't, you know, Halloween.
Alright, guys, I'm gonna log the fuck out of here. So thank you all for coming.
Saw is the
See you all
one with
next
the
one.
consistent story. So overall, and wrapping up, there's evidence both ways, really.